Story 1. Someone used my key, but I never lost it. The first thing that felt wrong wasn't the door. It was how quiet the apartment was when I got back. Not normal quiet. The kind of quiet where it feels like something just stopped, like I walked in too soon. I stood there for a second, key still in my hand, listening. Nothing. No movement. No sound. So I stepped inside. That's when I noticed the lock. It wasn't fully set. Not unlocked. Just not where I left it. I always lock it the same way. I check it. I pull the door once to make sure. Every time. So seeing it slightly off made me stop. I stared at it longer than I should have, trying to remember if I rushed that morning. Maybe I did. That's what I told myself. I locked it again and walked inside. The kitchen light was on. I don't leave lights on. I stood in the doorway looking at it, trying to decide if I forgot. I walked in slowly, checked the living room, bedroom, bathroom. Nothing. Everything looked normal. Too normal. That's when I started noticing small things. A chair slightly turned. A cabinet not fully closed. A glass closer to the edge of the counter than I remembered. Nothing big, but enough. I ignored it that night. Told myself I was tired. The next day, I paid attention. Before leaving, I set things exactly. Keys on the table, straight, chair aligned, cabinet closed tight. I even stood there for a moment, looking at everything, locking the image in my head. When I got back, it was different, not dramatically, but clearly. The keys had moved, a few inches. Same table, different position. That's when the feeling changed. It stopped being doubt. It became awareness. Someone had been inside. I checked everything. Windows, locks, no damage, no forced entry. Which meant one thing. They had a key. That night I didn't turn the lights on. I sat in the dark, facing the door, waiting. Minutes passed. Then an hour. Nothing. I almost convinced myself I was wrong. Then, around 2 a.m., I heard it. Metal, soft, close. A key sliding into the lock. My body went completely still. The key turned slightly, then stopped. Like whoever it was listening. Then again, a little further. The lock clicked. I didn't move, didn't breathe. The handle moved, slow, testing. Then again, harder. I stood up too fast, hitting the table beside me. The noise broke the silence. The handle stopped. Everything stopped. For a second, I thought it was over. Then, the key turned again, faster this time, and the door opened. Just enough to create a gap. I saw a hand, holding the edge. Not rushing, not forcing, just steady, like they knew they could take their time. I stepped back, grabbing my phone. The door pushed slightly, then stopped again, like they realized something was off. The hand tightened. Then suddenly, the door slammed shut. The key pulled out. Fast. Gone. I ran to the door and locked everything. Every lock. Every chain. I missed the deadbolt the first time. My hands were shaking too much. I didn't sleep that night. I kept staring at the door, waiting for it to happen again. It didn't. The next morning I changed the locks. Immediately. Didn't wait, didn't ask. The landlord didn't question it, just said, "Sometimes old keys don't get returned." But I kept the old lock, and when I checked it, there were fresh scratches, deep ones, around the keyhole, from the outside. Story 2. Someone keeps moving things when I leave. At first, I thought I was just tired. That's what made it dangerous, because nothing obvious was happening. Just small things. A glass slightly out of place. A chair not exactly where I left it. Tiny changes, easy to ignore. And I did, for a while. Until it started happening every single time I left. That's when I stopped trusting myself. I started taking pictures. Before leaving, I would stand in the doorway and take a photo of the room. Everything visible, everything documented. The first time I compared it, I felt it in my chest immediately. The objects had moved, not randomly, deliberately. The glass was turned, the keys shifted, a book placed differently. It wasn't chaos, it was control. I checked the locks, no damage, no sign of entry. I asked the landlord. He said no one had access, no master key, nothing. So I installed a camera, small, hidden on a shelf, pointing at the living room. I left for work. Checked the footage later. Nothing. Empty apartment all day. No movement, no sound, no entry. But when I got home, the glass I left near the sink was gone. I found it in the middle of the room, standing upright. That didn't make sense. There was no way it fell like that. It had to be placed. That's when I stopped leaving. That night I stayed, lights off, sitting in the dark again, waiting. Hours passed. Nothing. Then, around 3 a.m., something shifted, behind me, soft, close. I turned slowly. Nothing there. Then it happened again. This time from the kitchen, then the hallway, then behind me again. It wasn't one place. It was moving. Inside the apartment. Around me. Slow. Controlled. I stood up, heart racing, trying not to react too fast, trying to listen. Then the glass moved. From the floor, sliding across the tile, straight toward me. It didn't roll. It didn't wobble. It slid, like something pushed it. It stopped right in front of me, blocking my path. That was enough. I grabbed my keys and moved toward the door, dropped them. My hands weren't working right. I picked them up, missed the lock, tried again. Behind me, something shifted again. Closer this time. Not loud, but moving. I didn't look back. I couldn't. I got the door open and ran, barely closed it behind me. The next day, I came back with someone else. Everything was normal, exactly how I left it. Except for one thing. The camera. It wasn't facing the room anymore. It was turned directly toward the wall. And I know I didn't move it.